I'm in the community of Mesilla, which is an old Spanish community that was actually bigger than Las Cruces at one time. This remained in Mexico after the original treaty for the territory was signed. There's the post office. Well, here it is. Here's the plaza. The Gadsden Purchase added it to the New Mexico Territory in 1854. This is on the Butterfield Overland Trail route, St. Louis to San Francisco. M54, November 16th, 1854, the signing of the Gadsden Purchase. It was on the El Camino Real. San Albiano is one of the oldest missions in the Mesilla Valley. It was originally built in 1851. A devastating flood in 1885 damaged it severely. It was rebuilt in 1906. Billy the Kid was captured and put on trial here, but he escaped. This is one of the oldest and most famous restaurants. I am in the Las Cruces Railroad Depot, which was the Santa Fe Railroad. Look how high the ceiling is. Pretty dramatic. And here's a steam whistle. 6-chime step-top multi-tone steam engine with 6 compartments of differing length and pitch, giving a deep, resonating sound. They certainly sound different. The train whistle is an audible signal device used on steam locomotive to warn that the train is approaching and to communicate with rail workers about rail movements. Railroad police handcuffs. Hobos beware. And here's the timetables. Envelopes, coin holders, cutlery and chinaware. And look, there's a telegraph station. Belt buckles. Cinder goggles. Yeah, that's what you need on a steam train that has open windows. Rotating locomotive headlight. Three locomotive headlights to be rotated as they burned out. And here's a nice large model. So you've got steam coming out of the pipe. New York Central Railroad steam locomotive, 999, 1893. Set the world speed record by traveling 100 miles per hour on a trip from New York to Buffalo. It achieved this speed due to unusually tall wheels, which would rotate more than 400 times a minute. The famous locomotive displayed at the World's Global Exhibition in 1918 or 1948-49. There's one of those mail pouch catching or delivery. Maybe it's a delivery. The chief is still the chief. Santa Fe. Lantern colors. Red, stop. Yellow, proceed with caution. Green, proceed. Clear, to perform hand signals around rail yard. Blue, when workmen repaired equipment. And here's your hand signals. Stop. Proceed. Back. Train is parted. Spare air brakes. Torpedo signal box. Well, what is a torpedo? Red flags to signal trouble. 2 miles away on the rails, up the rails, the torpedoes contained detonating powder, which emitted a loud bang under the wheels of oncoming trains. The bang signaling engineers to slow the train at 20 miles an hour or less in preparation to stop. Wet cell battery. The telegraph needed a steady supply of electricity. Signals were transmitted along the wire by electrical current to the receiving station. Wet cell batteries such as these use chemical reactions to produce energy. Each telegraph station maintained its own batteries. The telegraph included a line, wire, a battery, or other source of electricity, a transmitting instrument, and a receiver. The transmitting instrument was called a key, and the receiving instrument was called a sounder. When the key was pressed, the electric circuit is completed and sends a signal along the wire. The signals are combined into a code which is understood by operators at both ends. In the United States, the Morse telegraph code became the standard. Morse code uses a series of signals called dots and dashes. An expert operator could send about 50 words per minute. Wow. Glass insulator for insulating the telegraph wire. And here's a red light, so you better stop. Transferring a train order. A woman sending a train order deposit to Lordsburg, New Mexico on a telegraph. Look at these boots. Women's boots. Pince nose, glasses. Bank advertising book. Sewing machine. It's a sewing machine. Santa Fe Chief ticket. From Las Cruces to Mesilla Park, dated January 4th, 1963. 26 cents. Better than taking the bus. Now they have these really sexy posters. Glamorous. The Glamorous Railroad. Look at the Chinaware. It's real Chinaware. No plastic here. Tobacco tin. Well, there's a hanger, clothes hanger. A blanket. Daily pulls to Carlsbad Caverns. Harvey House. Yeah, they had a Harvey House from here. Well, not here. This is Lamy, New Mexico. And look, it's a teletype machine, 1944. The telegraph, like the telegraph, the teletype machine sent messages along when using electrical signals. The sending machine converted the typical messages into code of electrical pulses, and the receiving machine decoded the electrical pulses. Teletypes were common railway communication devices during the first half of the 20th century. That is the train station, Las Cruces. That's where we're at right now. And this is downtown Studebakers. There's a theater. Look, there's a little pump jack there. So they got oil here. This is a really nice model here. There's an Airstream camper over there. There's a fire department putting out a fire.
Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to Las Cruces Railroad Museum. Good afternoon.
How you doing today?
I apologize to you that the N scale or the HO scale is not working.
That's okay.
It was built about 15 or 20 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And
It's really neat.
Pardon?
They did a really good job on it.
The problem for me is the original engines wore out, the locomotives.
Yes.
And the new engine you see here and over there are what we call digital command control. They're controlled by a computer, so I now have to rewire underneath here to get a computer to talk to those two engines to tell them what I want them to do.
Wow.
And I need to repair some other minor odds and ends, but this was built, again, about 15, 20 years ago.
Uh-huh.
It's not Las Cruces, but there are historic Las Cruces buildings on the railroad, such as Old St. Genevieve's Church, which stood about a half block down Main Street from Las Cruces Street on the left, where you see the big city park.
Is it still there?
Here comes my yard engine. I won't find out where he's at. Oh, there it is. One of these two locomotives, the green and black one's 47 years old. The orange and black one's 62 years old.
62?
Means they're very rare to see both of these today.
Wow. Yeah, this was originally the Santa Fe, Atchison, and Topeka Railroad. Now it's the BNSF.
You see BNSF now.
Mm-hmm. Do you have passenger service here?
1968 was the last time a regular passenger train stopped here. The tank cars down there are being loaded with ground up red chili peppers to go to Frank's Red Hot Sauce plant in Springfield, Missouri. The covered hopper cars are brought grain down from the Midwest to be unloaded here in the trucks to be taken to the dairy farmers. We go through about 7 to 11 of those a week, which is to say 700 to 1,100 tons of corn. The tank cars down here, we go through about 700 to 1,100 tons of red pepper a week at 7 to 11 carloads.
Wow.
And
now, how is that? Is it ground up? Or
it's ground up, mixed with water and salt.
So it's a liquid then?
Each one of those cars is carrying 4.5 tank truckloads of ground up red pepper.
Wow.
And somewhere in that, well, those two cars in the cut will probably be dropped here. There are carloads of lumber, and they're being unloaded here to be used for house construction.
Yeah.
But this used to be a very, very busy yard. It's now technically the El Paso to Albuquerque branch line of BNSF, and you will, if you're staying in town overnight, probably hear 3 or 4 mainline freights go through at night. Occasionally we see them in the day, but generally they come through at night.
Now,
this local comes out of El Paso every weekday, Monday to Friday. Comes up, switches, brings in, empties or loads as needed, and goes back.
Now the Santa Fe track came down from Albuquerque?
Yes, sir.
And then went to El Paso?
El Paso.
Did it go east-west?
Not from there, no.
It just went straight south?
It stopped there because it connected with what was called the Mexican Central, now Ferromex. Many of our mainline road freights are going through to Mexico City.
Oh, really?
Yeah. if you see more modern BNSF engines, more modern than these two, look at the engine room doors, the hood doors. If you see blue or green tape stuck across the doors, those engines have gone to Mexico City when they get the Quidad from West Virginia, Quidad Jerez. U.S. Customs inspects the whole compartments on the engine, make sure no trespassers, no immigrants, no drugs, no nothing. Then they put tape across the door joints to let their confreres know the engines have been inspected.
Wow.
These two are too old to be able
They got new paint jobs, though, don't they?
One has a new paint job. The green and black one hasn't been painted since 1996. That's the old Burlington Northern paint scheme.
That's right, yeah, it's green.
And you'll see her old number on the end of the hood on the side. They pretty much sanded the number off and changed her to 1962, which is why there's a patch on the cab with the new number.
All right.
But forgive me for disturbing you.
You're not disturbing me at all.
The station is our station, except should be about this much longer. Wasn't enough room to do it full length. This building here was a restaurant called My Brother's Place down on Main Street in Griggs. It's been long gone.
What was it?
This right
And
here.
what was the business?
It was a restaurant. I
Oh,
know
restaurant.
nothing more than where it was. This is the old women's club, which stands on the corner of Raymond and Court Street. If you go 2 blocks down, you'll hit the city park. Go left on Raymond Street till you hit Court, and you'll see this building with a porch roof now. That is where the women that bought the land that is the park in 1898 bought the park because the children had nowhere to play but in the streets. They also militated for the women's vote in 1919. The city owns the building, and it's getting a little rough, but it's still used like this building here. They own this one, and I'm fighting an ongoing battle to try to get restoration money. Good morning, or afternoon. The yard engine's out working in the yard if you want to catch him putzing around. I'll start the line out and the end scale for you folks briefly. This is O scale, created in the 1920s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, usually seen under Christmas tree. This is half O scale, half that size, created in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and still popular. Then as houses got smaller, N scale over there, which is half the size of HO, came out in the 1960s. Then when houses kept getting smaller, what were they thinking about? The little guy in the bottom here, Z scale, is half the size of N scale. So you can see how the model got smaller and smaller and smaller over time. I'll be right back. I can get this one to run. Then if you would like to switch a railroad yard, this thing will pretty much tell you, if you got an easy one, I'll give you a clue how to beat this game. You're going to be building the train down against this engine with the yard engine. First car you want to grab will be the one by the signal. Second car you want to grab is this one here. Third one you want to grab there, pull all 3 of them out here. Throw switch 1 and shove everything against that engine. And this button lights up, hit it. There goes your mainline roof brake. And basically you'll be
So here's the gauges right here, and here's the examples. There's a whole train here. Rio Grande, Santa Fe.
This way towards that way. Tap idle, and it's like putting a brake on the car. And if you hit the next one,
American Flyer trains.
we really don't need to know this one except for when this one
right here.
lights up, you shove the train down there, hit it. Go for the next one.
What do we got here?
Switch control. Switches are 1, 2, 3, and 4 numbered. When they're set straight, like number 1 is, the arrow will point this way. When you hit this one, you'll see the arrow move like that, telling you you can go up.
Lionel.
Same thing with these guys. If you hit this, you'll see 2 go like that, telling you to go in that track. Basically, since you are racing against the clock, you should be able to do this with at least a minute and a half flat. We'll be racing the clock. You start out with 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah, this is the one I rode on, the Rail Runner, from Santa Fe down to Albuquerque. And it was started in December 15th, 2008. The Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe Railroad. Their business model vision, I guess you'd say. Now it's owned by Warren Buffett. 1927 to 1827 was the centenary pageant of the B&O Railroad, held in Baltimore, October 1927. New York Air Brake Company. This is the schematic of the air brake, which radically changed the railroad system. There's a railroad trunk.
Well, it's a very cheap way to ride 100
And
miles between Beulah and Santa Fe.
Railway Express Agency luggage cart. Loaded and unloaded items.
If you've got questions, I'm at your service.
The REA
Thank you.
was the UPS or the DHL of their day.
Whatever you're doing, have a great-
1900,
If you're
they were
down to college, good luck on
one
your
of
work.
4 major express agencies. The introduction of the parcel post service in 1913 by the U.S. Post Office was the first major competition for express agencies. After World War I, the federal government combined all of the express agencies under the REA umbrella. After World War II, trucks and air freight significantly cut into their business, and the company closed in 1975. Here's the thing that intrigues me about this. It just has a tongue with a hand grip. You just pull it by hand. So somebody had to muscle that thing around, loaded down with suitcases and freight. A railroad scale. Christine Gonzalez was the first female railroad engineer or hoghead for the Santa Fe Railroad and in the United States. A 4th-generation railroader, she worked the El Paso Las Cruces line as an engineer in the 70s and 80s, still works for the railroad today. After graduating from El Paso's Loreto Academy, Christine wanted neither an office job or college life, knowing she wanted a challenge. Her mother suggested Santa Fe Railroad Engineer Training Program. She entered the program in 1973, learned on the job while moving locomotives in the Albuquerque roundhouse and observing veteran engineers. Christine completed an intensive 10-week simulation training course in Topeka, Kansas. Christine often worked 12-hour days, 7 days a week. Wow. Corporate restructuring in the 80s limited her time to the driver's seat, and she became interested in train safety after witnessing collisions during her years as an engineer. After they merged with the Burlington Northern, she became a manager in the field safety team. That's the only one I know is SOS. I may have it backwards though. And here's the railroad tools. Stoplight. a rail car spring and nails. There's a truck, hand truck. And let's see. It's now owned by Warren Buffett. (1905 and 1940). The blonde man in the back is the foreman. Track maintenance. This is the freight room right here. There's the big doors on the rollers. Nice little museum. Across the road, you got a mural. This is near Mesilla. It says North Mesilla Street. And let's go over here and check out this caboose, which is not painted red. It looks like it's painted purple. C, B, and Q. Not familiar with that railroad. Centennial Caboose. This caboose was acquired by AC family in 1969. Chosen out of a lot of 300 decommissioned cabooses. The Aces paid $50 for the caboose. The caboose was originally put in service during the 1890s in the Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy Railroad. Okay. It stayed in family until 1910 and was generously offered to the Las Cruces Railroad Museum. Some modifications were made to the interior of the caboose to allow for residential living. A full kitchen and shower were installed. All in all, the Aces did a wonderful job caretaking this extremely rare wooden caboose. Cabooses served as offices for train conductors, storage for spare parts and tools, with a working kitchen and bunks, a home away from home for men working the line. It was common for railroad workers to hitch rides in a caboose from one job to another. It is widely believed that the first caboose was a converted boxcar built around 1840. In the 1920s, the caboose was being produced as a unique car design. Common features of cabooses were cupolas, porches, or platforms and windows. As communication and engine design advanced in the late 1980s, the need for separate offices for the conductor lessened and cabooses became obsolete. The Burlington Railroad built cabooses for railroad companies throughout the United States. This caboose was transferred from Chicago, Burlington Quincy Railroad to Fort Worth and Denver Railroad, part of the Burlington Railroad family. It ended its career in Lubbock, Texas, on the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe line. These cars, these tanker cars, are filled with chili. It's ground up, added with water. It's going to St. Louis, Missouri. The caboose is an American legend, once found trailing behind trains and cars of trains. Use of the caboose began in the early 1830s. The purpose of the caboose was to provide shelter for the conductor, brakeman, and flagman on board the train. While in the caboose, the crew would fill out paperwork, observe the train for any hazards or malfunctions, cook meals, and sleep. Eventually, with the dawn of new inventions and labor laws, the caboose was no longer needed. Even though conductors often considered their caboose to be their home away from home, it was often called names such as crummy, hack, doghouse, way car. The Centennial Caboose, in need of some restoration.